a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yeah, not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children. And I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B. But only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied. Because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I want. And I don't give a what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with. Because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a f. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but I say, it's my life, my choice. Before y'all try to stitch this and be like, black man this, black man that, I don't give a f. I really don't.
Yo, I know I'm gonna get killed for this. But he was making some points. I was writing it down, and he's making some points. Go T. Well, I'm just saying.
The second time through, you know, you was talking about that unpopular opinion. I mean, I'm sure, you know, some of the other guys on the panel, you have conversations with women, you meet them, you can tell them right off the bat, I am not a good guy. I am not a good guy. And for some reason, that seems to attract them even more. And sometimes that bad guy routine just works. And if he's straight up being honest, being like, hey, before we do this, I'm letting you know, I don't want no kids. But she still agrees. You know, there is some accountability that has to be there. But, you know, I'm wondering about, you know, the previous women for the abortions that he did have and that he did pay for. How many children, you know, that could have been here, not here right now. And you know, I look at the comments that you know, on Twitter, how people are responding to this, and it wasn't like he was getting a lot of negative feedback. You know, even a lot of women were kind of agreeing with him, saying, hey, I prefer to do to be honest up front, and if I still fall for it, I fall for it. So, you know, the way that he was explaining it, you know, it's just come off as if it didn't come off as if he didn't want children, period. He just didn't want children with them, with those jump offs that he approached as jump offs. They knew they was jump offs, but then, you know, it's almost like he's saying, you know, they're trying to trap him, you know, and he's not falling for the trap, even though he knows that it takes two. And he feels as though offering the abortion absolves him from that accountability, and because he had the conversation. Oh man, like I said, like this is allowed. This seems to be okay from both sides, and that's why, you know, we're having this conversation. But hearing it again, it didn't come off as harsh as the It's the first time. I gotta admit that.
I hear that.
Yeah.
AB.
That was still rough. The second time was still rough to hear. But, and as, it's crazy because what he think is honesty to me is really not honesty. To me, honesty is your words and your action has to align. Your words have to match your actions. So I can't tell somebody, hey, I don't want a kid, I don't want a relationship, I don't want to be with you, but I'm acting as if I want to be with you. You know, I'm having sex with you and not pulling out intentionally. You know, and so stuff like that, you're still living a lie, even though your words are honest. You're telling them straight up, but if your actions are not matching up with if your actions not matching up with the words, then you send them mixed messages. So it was hard just to hear it the second time, and it's sad because this guy or guys like him, they don't realize or just don't care, as he said, like the type of carnage that they're creating in the community. Like it goes further than just the women. Like you're not thinking about those kids and the emotional impact, the trauma. We already know the statistics when fathers or men are not present in the child's life. We already know it, and so you just sending them straight down that path. So it was rough hearing it again. I agree. The ladies have to be responsible for themselves as well. So if you know what this guy has a certain reputation, he said he doesn't understand why these 7 chose not to have an abortion. So there was a whole lot before them. So if you know this guy's reputation and you still choosing to get involved with this guy, you hold a lot of the responsibility as well. But as a man, you have to be accountable for yourself. You can't determine your actions on what she's going to do or what she thinks. But yeah, it was rough hearing it again. It was still hard.
Cheers, AB. Go for it, Trey.
Our brother AB took all my talking points. Don't know what to say now. Nah, it was all right. I say it, Kojo. Did he make points? Of course he made points. We know it. Because that's the other side of the coin here. That's he could be. Yes, we want to drum on his irresponsibility of it all because it's crazy, bro. You out here having raw sex and trying to shrink from the responsibility of it all. That's crazy. Can't do that. I can't even trust you as a man. He couldn't be my friend. What? No. What? Are you serious? No. Could be my friend. Flip side. I'm sorry. If you know this is the type of man that he is, because obviously he's gonna have a reputation. People know. People talk. People know. He got a whole bunch of kids. Yes, these women are still messing with him for whatever reason. Sorry. If you mess with that dude, I got no sympathy for you. Sorry, Miss Lady. The first one I can understand. Girl, you got duped. You didn't understand what you was getting into. Got you. The rest of y'all done saw. You saw it. And yet you still went over there and still laid down with that man. I got nothing for you. You made your bed, lay in it. I got nothing for you. What am I supposed to say to that? I can't protect you. I can't protect you. You can't protect yourself. You don't even have the wherewithal to protect yourself. That's what's sad about this. That's what's really sad to me. I'm like, this dude is telling you he's going to ruin your life and not care about it. He's already done it to multiple women beforehand. And yet still some women, like he said, are lining up to still get with him. That's just craziness. That's just craziness.
And just
me.
And just to add as well, if the courts get him, he's got no leg to stand on. This is the other side of things, right? Because the responsibility, okay, like what he said was the truth, which is oftentimes the woman gets laden with the burden of the child, which means she's gonna have more of the responsibility, which means you have to take even more greater care. But at the same time, too, if the courts come hard on you, I don't want to hear you crying about your paychecks looking menial this month because they took so much money out of your account. At that point, you're gonna have to also be accountable for your behavior, because you can't tell me you out here telling women I don't want kids, etc., but you going in raw. Like, this is not 7 times a condom broke. This is you going in raw, which means you want to take that risk, you know. And the reason I like this video so much is because of the viewpoints that usually come from it. And I was thinking about this earlier on today. If women look at this video and say, see how bad men are, without holding women accountable, you're also a problem. If there are men on the other side saying, see how women are, they only want to trap you, you are the problem. If you're on either extreme, whether you're a man or a woman, and you can only hold the other side accountable without holding the same gender as you accountable, you are a problem. You are a toxic problem, because you refuse to see that both parties are accountable for creating a life in this moment, and both are problematic. He is very problematic because he's got 7 different women in this instance, which is disgusting. It's a plague on our society. It means me and you have to pick up the tab financially, emotionally, mentally. You know what I'm saying? The chance of these kids obviously falling into the traps of the environment that they live in is greater. So, you know, you're causing a whole issue that's generational, not even just a community. Generational issues are going to be tapped in because you refuse to take responsibility, not only just in terms of kids, but with your own penis. You know what I mean? You're not responsible with it. And there were things that could have been done to prevent this, which is literally put on a condom. It's not hard. You know what I mean? It is not difficult, and it's not expensive either. I'm sorry, if I see you sitting in the car, it means you have money for gas, which means you have money for condoms. So I don't want to hear that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear that it feels better.